Hello.
Hi.
What made you decide to come to Berlin for your internship?
Well, I study in a very, very small town with only 15,000 inhabitants, so I really had to leave the town and I wanted to experience something new, and Berlin was the perfect contrast program for me. Berlin is the most exciting city here in Germany, and that's why I decided to come here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Germany.
You're from Germany, but you're a country girl.
I am what?
Well, I didn't know that much about Berlin, and then I started searching and asking people questions, and I thought it was really interesting what they had to say, and all the mixture of the culture and the historical point of view of the city. It sounded really interesting.
Yeah, sort of. Sounds a little bit weird. But...
I actually was already in Berlin. I did my Erasmus semester at the Free University, and I thought it was such a beautiful city to live, and I didn't want to leave after 6 months, so I thought it's a good opportunity to stay longer in this beautiful city.
So you wanted to stay longer, that's all? You wanted to stay longer?
Yeah, I want to stay longer, yeah. Because there's so much to experience and to see, to do, a lot of culture, history, everything you can imagine is in Berlin. So after 6 months you haven't seen all of it, so I had the feeling I had to stay longer.
So Freya, in your opinion, what is Berlin's most interesting feature? Either culturally, historically, politically, I don't know.
I would say that Berlin has a really great cafe culture, especially now that the weather's a lot more beautiful.
Hey, it's much better now.
And it's one of my favourite ways to get to know and to explore a city is to sit in a cafe and just appreciate what's going on around you.
As for me, I'm a person who really enjoys all kinds of art. So in Berlin, the thing that I like the most is actually art galleries, concert and other art events. And especially I enjoy the fact that all those events are organized by people from different cultures. And it makes it especially fascinating for me.
Well, that is a tough question. I think Berlin really has to offer a lot of things here. I just could mention one thing. I went to the festival on the 1st of May. It took place in Kreuzberg. And
You went out then?
yeah, of course we went there. I went there with a couple of friends, and it was really, really cool experience because there were so many people there, and there was music, there were concerts. You could have so many different kinds of foods, for instance. Arabic, Turkish, Lebanese, everything is there, and it was so cheap, so it's really good for a student to go there.
So Berlin is cheap but sexy, we could say.
Yeah, you could say that, and I mean, if you compare it to other cities here in Germany, for instance Munich, it's a lot cheaper.
So in your opinion, is there a must do in Berlin?
Well, I visited the building called Dachilis, and it's actually a Yiddish word that means speak your mind, and when you go there you can see that it's all graffiti and really much handmade jewelry and paintings and stuff like that. It's really colorful.
And Yiddish is the language of the Jewish people, isn't it?
Yes, and
Okay.
it was on the eastern side of Berlin, so that's why they called it Speak Your Mind, because that was not allowed back then.
Well, the one thing which was a definite must-do for me, and which I actually done in the first week, was just to catch a train somewhere in Kudamm, which is the main street of the former West Berlin, and to go to, let's say, Karl-Marx-Allee, which is the main street of former East Berlin, and just to feel the difference of actually two places which were parts of two different worlds before, and the difference still remains.
There are a lot of must-dos in Berlin, but to give you a couple of examples, I talked before, or I mentioned before, that the historical significance of the city was a real reason for me to be here and to come here. And some of the museums that Berlin has to offer really kind of illustrate and tell a story about Berlin in a very unique way. One of the examples would be Das Neues Museum. It actually just this year won the Sterling Prize for Architecture, which is a very prestigious award in the area of architecture, because it fused fused is the wrong word. It kind of they rebuilt parts of the building and kept old parts of the building instead of tearing it down and creating a completely new building. They mixed that old and new, which I think is a really good like representation of Berlin, a mixture of old and new.
Yeah. So final question. Will you come back?
Yeah, I will certainly come back. I think there will always be something to explore in this city. And the atmosphere is so great. And actually it feels a little like home, I have to say, after 8 months. So I will come back.
I don't think that Berlin is a place where I will stay for a long time, but one thing I can tell for sure, Berlin is a place where I will always be happy to be back again for some days or some months, to experience it again and to discover it again for me.
Why not? Yes.
But will you come back for professional purposes only, or you can imagine yourself living here, I don't know, raising a family, who knows, you know?
Well, the German mentality is really similar to Finnish mentality, so yeah, why not if the perfect guy comes along and...
But you can't imagine yourself living here.
Probably not. For me, Berlin is a good place to visit and to see, but I don't feel myself too confident and too comfortable living here for a longer time.
But it's a question of identity, or you don't like the city that much.
I think it's a question of perception. I can't really find the reason, it's just about my inner feeling.
I will definitely come back to Berlin. I think it's a city that is increasingly popular and I want to be back here before everyone else discovers it.